just feel a bit insecure and it's difficult to motivate yourself, and that's what I want to talk about today. Good morning everyone. Today I decided spontaneously that I was going to sit down and talk to you a bit about something that's been on my mind. So in my last video where I sat down and chatted like this, I mentioned that I was feeling a little bit down in the dumps, and that feeling's sort of grown, I suppose, over the last week or so. And I said, I think that it's just the normal thing that graduates go through, where you just feel a bit insecure and it's difficult to motivate yourself. And that's what I want to talk about today. When I went to university, I was told by my school, you go to university to get a good education, you're going to come out with better job prospects. And actually that period after you leave university, or if you didn't go to university, after you leave full-time education, when you're looking for a job, not many people talk about that, not many people warn you about that. So I've only really learned about it through living it, and I've been talking to a lot of my friends who've been going through it too, and I think a lot of us, there's a lot we can relate to with each other. Even though my friends are going through it in the UK or in other places, we've got a lot of things in common. The first thing is, obviously, like I've been talking about, the lack of motivation. You are supposed to just keep searching for jobs, and it's tiring, and after a while you start to sort of base your self-worth perhaps on your ability to find a job. And when it's difficult for you to find employment, you can start to think, well, it's got to be me, I must be the problem. Am I even as intelligent as I thought? Why can't I think of the creative ideas to make myself stand out? Which is ridiculous. You can't look for validation in somebody offering you a job. But I think that self-doubt, a lot of people experience it. And if it's not self-doubt, it's doubting something else, like, am I even really sure that I want to be working in this sector? This is something I've had a lot recently. Even if you're in a job, maybe you're thinking you don't like it as much. I've got some friends who are in that position, so this applies to you too. My dream is to work freelance, and that's something which I think is going to take time. I'm trying to take on freelance projects at the moment, but since I'm a fresh graduate, it's not going to happen like that. So I've been trying to find another source of income part-time alongside. And I start to think, is it even worth it? I think that at a certain point, probably everyone who's had trouble finding a job has probably reached that point where they just feel lost. And you start to think to yourself, do I really want to be working in this sector? Is it worth all of this energy? Am I going to be happy once I get a job here? And for me, that fear sometimes is paralysing. You know, I'm spending so much time on energy, trying to find a job to bring money in, and I'm terrified I'm not going to like it, but it's what I've got to do to make my dream work. I think as well in my situation, because I had a bad experience before, I'm terrified I'm going to find myself in a new role where I'm not happy, where I really hate the job, or where it's not going to allow me the time that I want to dedicate on my other projects. But I suppose what I've got to say to myself is the alternative of not at least going and trying is not having that source of income, which is going to allow me to live and work on my creative projects. And if I don't have the opportunity to do that, there are no creative projects and I can't progress in that. The fear of not achieving that dream, or not at least giving it everything that I've got, is a lot worse than the fear of me finding myself in a job where I'm not happy. Essentially, it takes a lot of energy and it's exhausting, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I know I particularly am in a very lucky position in that I have got the savings that can keep me going through this time. So I can afford to, I had a job where they treated me badly and I was able to leave that. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people just have to keep working there because they need the money. And I know there are other people who are very fortunate not to be in that position. But it's still difficult at times, and it's okay for it to be difficult even if you're speaking from a position of privilege. I'm not saying I've got it worse than a lot of other people at all. And one other thing that I've been finding recently, and I think probably a lot of you can relate, is when people ask you, oh Emily, have you found a job yet? Oh Emily, how's the job hunt going? Lovely people who have my best intentions at heart and just want to ask, and I get annoyed because I'm like, I don't know. And I feel like they're putting pressure on me, in addition to the pressure I'm putting on myself. At times I'm like, I'd just rather they not ask me. I guess that question just makes me feel guilty if I'm not spending 100% of my time looking for jobs and working towards my dreams, which is silly because you need to find a balance, and you need to go out and have a life as well. Like, you need to see your friends and you need to take a break. That's important. And I guess part of me feels embarrassed that I haven't got my situation sorted out yet, which is stupid. I graduated in July. It's now October. That was only 3 months ago. In summary, I personally am finding it frustrating and just difficult to focus my time. I think a lot of it has got to do with the fact that I, in myself, am not focused on exactly what I'm doing, because I would describe my situation as being slightly unusual. I'm in a foreign country, I'm trying to work freelance, straight out of university. So of course I've got a lot of obstacles, like everyone does, but mine are just a little bit more unusual than perhaps your average person who would stay in the UK and go straight into full-time employment for someone else. But we've all got our own individual circumstances, and I think a lot of us can relate to each other on a lot of these main points. I want to end this video on a positive note. If you're watching this, it's probably because you've clicked on it because you're interested in what I've got to say. Maybe you're going through a similar thing. Let me know if you agree with any of these points. Let me know some of the things you're feeling. Let's help each other out, give each other tips, give each other encouragement. Any people out there who have just graduated, you are clever, you are worth it, and you have everything you need to achieve your dreams. So don't give up hope. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this limbo period that happens to a lot of people after graduation. I guess the important thing is that it really does make you reflect on where you really want to be and what you really want to do. Even if you are stuck in that job that you had to take because you need the money and you hate it, at least it's forcing you to reflect on where you really want to be in life, and don't ignore that voice in your head. Maybe you do need to work for a few months or for a year or two to build up that money so that you can afford to go and follow what you really want to do, but don't lose sight of what you really want. Because if you don't have the courage to work towards that and start the steps towards that now, there is never going to be a better time. Even if you're watching this and you're a parent already and you've already got responsibilities, what you want is very important, and if you don't feel fulfilled as a human being, you can't be expected to help other people. So that is my 2 cents on the situation. I hope this has helped. Be kind to each other in the comments, help each other out, let's talk about this. Keep thinking positively, keep that goal in your head, always striving towards it. Don't lose that motivation. Everybody have a fantastic day. Bye. In case nobody told you, my name is Emily. I make videos about travel, building a life you love, which is exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I'm documenting my experience moving to Italy and trying to do just that here. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe. I will put some details to some other of my videos in the description down below, or you can click there to watch my last video. Maybe it's there.